Hey guys, Dylan from Noble Records coming at you with another video. This is a video I love doing every year. It is my best vinyl finds of the whole year. You know, I am out looking for records pretty much 365 days a year. Inevitably, some comes home, but a lot of it goes into my shop. But, you know, I'm an avid collector. I regularly go off the rails and buy stuff for myself, whether it be out in person, collections I'm getting, stuff that comes in the shop, or online. So, you know, over the years, I've gotten a lot more picky of what I bring home. I mean, it's less than 1% of what I find I bring home. But so now, just kind of the stuff that comes home is the cream of the crop. Just crazy stuff. So, anyways, we're going to talk about what I found this year. Before we get into that, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, that would help me out a lot. Hit that subscribe button. Stay in contact with us. Follow us on Instagram. Like I said, I have a record store in Matthews, North Carolina called Noble Records, where we're always buying big collection, recommending records. We have our own exclusive releases and things like that as well. So follow us at Noble Records on Instagram. So at the end of last year, I remember thinking, all right, next year I'm going to be tame. I'm not going to go off the rails. I'm not going to buy anything crazy. I'm going to, you know, and then, you know how it is. I behave for a while. I go in and out of that. But this year, we had a lot of big life changes. We ended up buying a house on some land out in the country. It's kind of a dream situation for us that we were able to do. And so we've had a lot of really good life changes, and with that, you know, I've worked really hard and found a lot of really cool things along the way. So if you don't know me, I collect all across the board genres, like all over the place. So the first stack I'm going to do is rock and roll stuff, like rare rock stuff, and this is like mostly like 70s rock. The next batch I'm going to do is grunge. The batch after that is punk, and then I've got funk and some like African stuff, and then I've got a really killer stack of jazz, and then I got a really killer stack of Zamrock. So that's kind of the order that this is going in. I cannot spend too much time on each individual record because I got so many to show. I didn't prepare for this too much. I just kind of sat down, kind of looked through my discogs of when I added things, and just came up with the list in like 30 minutes. So this is what I've got. Probably the best thing I got this year, just number one right off the bat, is the Led Zeppelin Road case. I did a video on that a few videos ago. If you didn't see it, that's the craziest thing I got was the Led Zeppelin Road case. Hard to match that. Second thing as far as Zeppelin goes is the can. It's a bootleg, a 10 LP color vinyl. It's every Zeppelin song they ever did live. It's one example of every single one of the songs they did live. So covers 10 LPs. I also did a video on that, so check that out if you haven't already. So those are just right off the bat some of the best things I got. This is the only Zeppelin stuff we're showing, but this is the Led Zeppelin 1 test pressing that I got. It is, depending on how you want to look at it, a test pressing or advanced copy. So what's really cool about this record, like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on each record, but this one is really special to me. Led Zeppelin, their organization, sent out a handful of these to the key radio stations in the country, some of the biggest ones. This one went to KMET in California, and so they received this a couple months before Led Zeppelin 1 was released. So this is like, if you look under this label, this kind of the advanced copy label, you can barely see it, but there is faintly, you can see test pressing underneath it. So it was, you know. But this is most likely all the people like in California, the first time they ever heard Led Zeppelin 1, before it was ever released, the first time that needle was dropped on the radio was this copy, this specific copy. So just to imagine the impact that this record has had on people. It's probably the most significant record I have in my collection. So getting this was insane. I did a video on that as well, so y'all check it out. The next one is DR Hooker, The Truth. This is an incredibly rare psychedelic rock record. Said to be only 100 copies ever made. A friend of mine found this at like an estate sale for $1 and sold it to me for lots of dollars, but he gave me a good deal on it. This is one of the most valuable records in my collection now. very, very tip top. So this is just one of the absolute rarest records I have, and it is a really, really cool psychedelic record. Look at that picture of Jesus on the cover playing guitar. It's just cool, psychedelic. This is Ice Cross, hard rock record, acid soaked, heavy hard rock record from Iceland. Incredibly hard to find. This is Morgan, band called Morgan, Morgen, from Steve Morgan, band from Long Island, New York. Incredible record. I've had a few copies of this, but finally this year got this is a really clean copy with the poster and everything inside. That was a big one to cross off my list. This one, the Human Beast Volume 1. This is an original press. Amazing, hard and heavy group from the UK. Incredibly hard to find. This is another one I've been after for years and years. Zerfus. It's on that 700 West label. It's got a couple hard rock bangers on it, but really cool psychedelic rock, early 70s psychedelic hard rock. This is one that no one knows about. It's just one that I always wanted. This is a local band called Underground Fire. They did a garage rock album, which is this, in Monroe, North Carolina, which I lived in Monroe for a lot of my childhood. But it's just a really rare, scarce, and this is like a perfect copy. I don't even have any clue what it would be worth. It's not about that to me. That it's just really rare, and when I found it, I was like, yes, because I've been looking for it since it's local. Another one is this Human Instinct Stone Guitar. This is an original press. I got a steal of a deal on this online. Incredible. If you like psychedelic guitar work, the Human Instinct Stone Guitar is one I've been after for long time. 10 years probably. So that was great to get. It's Christopher, white label promo, psychedelic rock grail on Metro Media Records. Hickory Wind, this is another one. It's at the tip top, probably top 10 of the most valuable I've got in my collection. Ran across this. This was, I think this was like the last day of the year last year, but I'd already made my top video, so I'll count it in for this year. But just got a killer deal on this. Somebody posted it on eBay for a really cheap price, and I grabbed it as fast as I could because it's a really good one. But it's kind of like country rock type stuff. This is the Paisleys. Really hard to find psychedelic record. Was a gift to me actually from a good friend of mine that has record stores. He got this killer psych collection in, and I ended up kind of helping him with some advice on some of the stuff. I didn't do much, but just gave him a little bit of pointers here and there, what to look for, how to price them, all that stuff. And he sent me this as a gift, so that was really nice of him. This one I just got. This one's Masters Apprentices. This is the original UK. This is a band from Australia. I think a lot of the other pressings of it, they call this record Choice Cuts, but really amazing guitar work, hard rock stuff. This one is called Gomorrah. It's a real German pressing on the Brain label. Kind of a just insane krautrock record. I had an earlier record of theirs, been wanting this one as well. Finally tracked that one down. This one is Armageddon. It's on the Kukuk record label. This is another one, really amazing hard rock guitar, just mind-melting stuff. This one's really cool. Zarathustra. Can never say it right. But this is just a really rare record. Really good, like proggy hard rock. I've been wanting this for a long time. I mean, this is like an $800 record. And there was one that came across in a classical collection. There's a guy on eBay that sells classical records, and he put this up for a really cheap price because it's not in perfect shape. It's like a VG copy. But he put it up for really cheap because classical dealers are really particular about condition. So he kind of said it was in really bad shape. I got it because the price, I couldn't say no, and it ended up being in really good shape for what it was and very listenable. For me, I'm happy with it. This is one, the Lollipop Shop, Just Color. This is another one. It's not the most expensive record I have or anything like that. It's just I've been wanting this for years and years. One of my most longest wanted records. It's got Fred Cole in it, which was in Dead Moon, a bunch of punk rock bands, just legendary stuff. But this is an early band of his, psychedelic masterpiece. And then last one before we move on to grunge is Vindication. This is a Christian prog record. This is another one that would be in the top 10 most valuable records I have. It's incredible, really spacey, out there, Christian prog, like a 70s, Jesus movement hard prog record. So that's a cool one, really hard to find. All right, as I stated before, I went through a crazy grunge spell this year. I've always loved grunge, grew up listening to grunge, never had any of the vinyl just because it's crazy expensive, hard to find, rare, all that stuff. And this year I was just like, you know what, I'm going to focus in on that. I'll get on just a trend where I'm like, I want this one, that one, this one, so I'll get into a rabbit hole in a genre and I'll just go nuts every once in a while. It's good to do that. But it all kind of started with this Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies. As you know, this is you probably know this is a really rare record. This is an original U.S. press. It's got the promo sticker and all that stuff. It's like in perfect shape. But one morning, it was a really cold morning. I think it was in like January or February. And I was getting up, headed to the shop, getting some things done. For some reason, I wanted to hear this record. Hadn't heard it in a while. I put it on, and I was like, oh my gosh. This is the Jar Flies Sap double EP. It's just so freaking good. And I was like, I got to get an original copy of that on vinyl. And so originally I was looking for this one. This is the European one on colored vinyl. And so I went on Discogs and looked. I found a guy in Greece that had this for like $100. It was really cheap. And so I went ahead and bought it from Greece. It took a while to get here. But then also, like, I started looking around on eBay for more Alice in Chains stuff, and this one was on there. I'm telling you, like, perfect. And somebody had it, I think it was like $75, and it just said it had a wobble. It's like and I have a flattener, so I was like, I'm gonna buy it and just take a chance, because some warps you can fix, some you can't. But this one, I was like, I'm gonna roll the dice on it, just for that sticker. It's killer. And so I got it. I was able to flatten it perfectly, like it never happened. And this is just a perfect copy now. So I'm thrilled to have this one. This is one of my favorite finds of the whole year. An incredible record. And then I also got this one, and I'm like, should I sell one? I'm like, no, I shouldn't. Ended up getting this one as well shortly after. This is Facelift. This is an original UK press. Just super hard to find. They never issued this in the U.S., so it's just hard to get here. And then I got this one, three-legged dog as they call it, but self-titled. I guess they call it Tripod. A lot of people call it Tripod, but self-titled Alice in Chains. One of the hardest ones to get, I think. But this is an original U.S. press. They're all so good. And then just recently got this a couple months ago, the Alice in Chains Dirt. This is an original UK press. That sticker just does it for me, man. This is the pressing that I wanted so bad. But yeah, got those. And then, I just went off the rails with grunge. I got a ton. I just pulled a handful of like my favorite grunge that I found, but I found a ton. My grunge collection was very small. I probably had like 20 records from grunge, like original pressing stuff, and it's now like probably 150, 200 records. So this is an original Nirvana Bleach. This is not a first pressing. I shouldn't say original. It's a second pressing. So still the original year. It's 89 press on black vinyl. So it's the second press. The first pressing on white vinyl, those go for like $5,000 now. They're really rare. This one is good enough for me. Maybe one day I'll find the white vinyl one, but I'm happy with this one until then. This is another one. I got a killer deal on it. So couldn't say no. Got an original press of In Utero on that clear wax, and then I got an original pressing of Unplugged in New York on the white wax. So amazing stuff. I just got these today. These two This is an original pressing of Rage Against the Machine Evil Empire. This is an original Rage Against the Machine self-titled. I've been after some original Rage for a long time, so I'm excited. And also just got this one today. This is an upgrade for me. I've had 3 copies of this year, but this is an original Siamese Dream. They came in this like purple color, and then they came like a lot of the colors kind of, it's almost like I've seen this website where it shows the spectrum of colors. So there's purple, there's like a orange, like a peach orange, and then there's pink. And then they really like, you could see the phase between purple, orange, pink, and like they kind of, there's different shades of all of them, so it's kind of crazy. But the purple is the first. The peach and pink, they were same year pressings, but the purple were the first ones. So this is the first press. And I actually have 2 of these right now because I upgraded this one. I got this one today from a friend. So yeah, I had an orange one as well, and I sold it off recently. This is crazy. This is a Dinosaur Jr. Bug test pressing. Love that record. Probably my favorite Dinosaur Jr. record. This is one that was just, it's a really good record, but it was just a crazy find. I was digging in a collection, and I was like, in the section I was in, it was just like Chicago and like freaking Moody Blues and stuff. Just nothing good. And this Down Nola original pressing was just right there, and I was like, oh my god. Got this Mother Love Bone Apple original US pressing. This is kind of the hardest one to get, and man, I just absolutely love Mother Love Bone, predecessor to Pearl Jam and Temple Dog, stuff like that. So there's still some grunge things on my want list. Like I'd like to get an original US Temple of the Dog. Haven't found one of those yet. Like to get an original US master disc, Nirvana Nevermind. Just haven't found one at the right price. This is one, not like I said on this one, not most expensive or anything like that, but this is an original Paul Dragline. I listened to this record a lot this year. This is a fantastic record. All my years of listening to grunge, this one kind of flew under the radar. Never listened to it at all. And then when I started getting into grunge again this year, revisiting some things, I discovered a few bands that I wasn't aware of. Paul's one of them. This is an original press on red vinyl. The Music on Vinyl reissued this, so they're like pretty available, the reissues are. But this is an incredible, it's like Southern grunge. There's a pedal steel solo on Jesse. This is the song to listen to. It's, man, that album. Whew. I got a clean copy of Lost Dogs. Actually found like a beater copy for pretty cheap earlier in the year, and then this one came along a few months ago. I found this super clean copy of Lost Dogs. Okay, so that was the grunge. I found a lot more grunge. I'm gonna do a grunge video here pretty soon, just because I got so much good stuff this year. We're headed to the punk. I got a lot of really good punk stuff. Some of it's just stuff that I really like, and some of it is valuable stuff, and some of it's both. It's all, I really like all this stuff. So probably I got a really killer punk collection earlier this year. Best punk collection I've ever found. This was in it, this Misfits Walk Among Us original press on Ruby Records. Unbelievable. About crap myself when I saw it. And then here's a couple 7-inches that were in here. This is a Misfits Horror Business. This is on yellow vinyl translucent. Extremely rare, most valuable, rarest 7-inch I've got. And then this Damned, this original Damned, just hard to get. This is one I've been wanting forever. This is a Stooges. I've got a really nice near mint first pressing of it, but this is a white label promo. It's not the best shape, but it's just one I always wanted. I'd love to get a really clean one day, but it's just beautiful. This is another one that was in there. Is Germs GI. This is the original press. Super hard to find the original press of this. I found a bunch of. Here's another one I found in that collection. This is Saints. I'm Stranded, and this is not an expensive record. This is maybe like a, I don't know, $50, $60 record, something like that. But it is so good. The Saints are incredible. I mean, y'all know that, but I just listened to this record a lot this year and found this nice copy in that collection. Got a couple more from a guy that I met online couple Wipers records. These original pressings of both these Wipers records. Really good stuff. Now we're going to go into some like funk stuff. Just a few. This Demon Fuzz Africa. This is one I've always wanted. Just amazing, like deep funk, killer stuff. Great guitar work. This is Malik, the Lafayette Afro rock band. I've been wanting this for a long time. You know, this is, the cover's rough, but it plays decent. This original pressing is just so hard to find. Eddie Hazel, Dames, Games, and Guitar Things. Is that, no, Games, Dames, and Guitar Things. I can never get it right. This is an original promo copy. Super, super clean. This is Rocktown Express. Probably one of the rarest African records I have. This is some like Afro rock funk. Just unfindable in this condition. Is a really good condition copy. And then this Corchex Tropio Blue. Really good, like, I guess you'd call it like jazz funk kinda, but just really beautiful record, really funky. Amazing like synthesizer work, keyboard work on it. So, all right, now we're gonna go to jazz and then Zamrock. All right, this one I got today. Actually, I got a big shipment of stuff in today from a bunch of different places. It just kind of all happened at the same time that I've been waiting on. But this one is The Descendants of Mike and Phoebe, A Spirit Speaks. This is an original press on Strata East. A friend of mine on Instagram found this at an antique booth. It was still sealed, and he grabbed it. He said he wouldn't have known about it if he hadn't been watching my videos, and so he gave me a shot at buying it, and I did. Obviously, it's one of my most wanted Strata East records. I wanted so bad. I collect that label, but long story short, do some research on this album. It's amazing. But basically, this band is Spike Lee. You know, the director Spike Lee. This is his dad and aunts and uncles and stuff. So his dad's name was Bill Lee, and he was the bass player. He's a very prolific bass player in a lot of like Strata East free jazz stuff. Billy Higgins plays on this as well, proficient drummer as well. But Mike and Phoebe were his grandparents, or I think like 6 generations up, great grandparents. And his grandfather kind of wrote the history of their family, and his descendant, their great grandparents, Mike and Phoebe, they were slaves in South Carolina, and they got separated. Phoebe and the kids got sent to Alabama, and Mike stayed in South Carolina. They got separated, and Mike vowed to her that he would find a way to get to her. And for 4 years, he worked a side business at night to make enough money to buy his freedom. Unbelievable story, but he bought his freedom, went to Alabama, and reunited with her after 4 years. At the back cover, it kind of explains everything, and it's just unbelievable. Really good jazz record, but I felt like I needed to talk about that one. It's so significant. I love it so much. Anyways, I also bought a really incredible jazz collection earlier this year. Got some of my most wanted jazz records ever in that collection. Just unreal stuff that you never ever see. This is an original Soul Station. This was my most wanted jazz record ever. This is probably my favorite jazz record, and the original first pressing of it is just really hard to find for a good price. This is another one, Herbie Hancock, Inventions and Dimensions. Really hard jazz record to find. This is an original first press, super clean copy. This is one I've had tons of copies of in the past, but this is another one of my top favorite jazz records. Something Else, Cannonball Adderley. This is a first pressing, which there's a lot of second and third pressings, but this is a super clean first press, which is just hard to get. This is a Saxophone Colossus, Sonny Rollins first pressing. This is one I wanted for so long. Right now I have 3 copies of this. If you wouldn't believe it, I got 3 first pressings of this. It just so happened that I've gotten 3 different ones in the past few months, and so I've got 2 at the shop on the wall, and then this is my copy. Got this one from him, and it just had the disc in a sleeve. This is a Hank Mobley Roll Call. Unreal jazz record. Love it so much, but it didn't have a cover. And a good friend of mine, Jason, he's got a channel called The Jazz Basement. Really nice guy. He hooked me up with somebody that had a few like random covers without discs, and so we went back and forth and made a deal on the cover. So I just bought the cover. So nice to have an original cover for it. This is one of my favorites that I got from his as well. This is called Malawi. This is on Strata. So I talked about Strata East earlier. This is a Detroit-based, a little bit more on the funk side, Detroit funk, free jazz side of stuff. But this is an amazing record, and this was still sealed when I got it, and I like had the dilemma of if I open it and listen to it, or if I just sell it because it's sealed. Because I won't keep a sealed record. But I was like, I'll open it and listen to it. And man, I'm glad I did because I've gotten so much enjoyment out of it. This one's All Day Long by the Prestige All Stars. It's got Frank Foster, Donald Byrd, Kenny Burrell, Tommy Flanagan, Doug Watkins, Art Taylor. That lineup is nuts. This is a beautiful copy. This is Bird's Eye View. Donald Byrd, Art Blakey, Horace Silver, Hank Mobley, Doug Watkins. Yeah. So hard to get. This is an original Coltrane Lush Life, first pressing. This is All Morning Long, the Red Garland Quintet. It's got John Coltrane on it. Really good stuff. This was Wayne Shorter, Night Dreamer. Really hard to find, first pressing. And this is I think this one was probably still sealed at some point, and it just the shrink got rubbed open because it was unplayed. Original Bill Evans Waltz for Debbie, original stereo. As clean as you can get, still in the shrink. A couple of the jazz ones that came in the shop. This is Mode for Joe Henderson, Dorothy's Harp, Dorothy Ashby. This is my favorite Dorothy Ashby record. This is like funk, but with a harp. It's beautiful. This one's Malagasy at Newport, Paris. This is really, really cool. It's a long story behind this record, but a lot of these records, so I have my main Instagram account, which is at Noble Records, and then I have like my personal account that I just show the records that are from my collection. It's called at Find This Record, and I just kind of do write-ups and sound clips of all these records that I get. So if you go on there, like I did a whole write-up on this one, you can hear sound clips and all that stuff, but that's at Find This Record. A couple library records, which were kind of on the funky side, jazzy side. It's called Action Printing. This is unbelievable. If you like synthesizer funk, you have got to check this out. It's amazing. And then this Tempo de Naja. This is kind of almost like a Afro-Cuban funk library record. And it's unbelievable. It's amazing. Okay, now on to the Zamrock. So just a really quick overview. This is just the Cliff Notes version. Really got into Zamrock this year. I went off the rails with it, y'all. I thought everybody would be into it that's in the shop, and unfortunately here in North Carolina, there's not a lot of people that are into it. So I bought a ton of Zamrock from Zambia. I got some guys that were shipping me large packages of records from Zambia. They were tracking them down and shipping them to me, and I was wiring them money, which... some were good, some were bad. There's some great finds in there. There were, they don't really know how to grade that well, so got burned a lot, but it is what it is. Out of it, I got records that there's no way I would ever have any way of getting any other way. So I got once in a lifetime records out of it. So it was definitely worth it. But I'm going to show you, so there's basically around 70 main Zamrock records that are considered the only Zamrock records that are really known to exist. There's like 70 of them. I got like 65 of them. So I'm looking for probably 3 to 5 more that I need to complete my collection. But these are the main ones, my favorite ones. Then I'm going to do a flip video of the rest of them that I found. But I got a lot of them. I got most of them this year. So the number one greatest find all year was this Witch Lazy Bones. This is an original Zambian first pressing. If you could find one with the covers are always destroyed. They're tattered and all this stuff. This one is super, super, super clean. The vinyl's clean. The cover's clean. There's probably only a handful of these in the world that are in this condition. One of my greatest gets ever. And this is, it's the Witch. So Witch is an acronym for We Intend to Cause Havoc. I'm going to show you a bunch of Witch records in this video. That's what it stands for. And that's probably the best, most well-known Zamrock band. This is another one, Salty Dog. Unfindable record. Really, really rare. Amazing. It's like Zamrock with really hard and heavy fuzz guitar in it. It's incredible. And this one's really cool because I've never seen another one with this label. I looked up all the websites, asked every Zamrock collector I know. This might be some sort of promo or advanced copy or something like this, because it was on Zambezi Records, but they had a custom label, this custom yellow label that they put on after this. So that's really cool. It's just kind of a nerdy thing to be excited about. Dr. Footswitch is one of the amazing Zamrock guys. It's hard to find. This cover is really bad, but the disc is near mint. Which with Zamrock records, anything that you're getting from Africa, like, just, they're always in really bad shape. They're hard to find in listenable condition at all. So you work as hard as you can. And it's just, I mean, they didn't think there's going to be collectors that want these records 30, 40, 50 years from now. So a lot of these were disposable. They're used as frisbees. They were, nothing. This is another Dr. Footswitch Liquid Iron. I was actually able to upload this on my YouTube channel. The audio for it. I have a YouTube channel also called Find This Record. And this is probably the cleanest record this is the cleanest copy I know to exist. The cover's trash, but the record is really clean. Really cool stuff. This is probably one of the most well-known Zamrock records as well. This is Africa by Amanaz. Amanaz is an acronym for Ask Me About Nice Artists in Zambia. But this is just an incredibly hard record to find in any condition. This one's a decent copy. I'm thrilled to have it. This one might be my favorite Zamrock record. This is the Oscillations. I See It Coming. It's beautiful. I mean, look at the cover. But there's a song in here called Request to God. And if you have any interest in Zamrock, listen to that track. It is unreal. The guitar work on it. So this is like a Zamrock record. It sounds like Jimi Hendrix played in it. It's just beautiful. This is another one, Paul Ngozi, heavy metal. I'm only showing this one because it's so clean, and it is like fuzz guitar for days. It's unbelievable. Look at that cover too, the graphics on it. This is another Ngozi. So the Ngozi family was a big deal in Zamrock. This one's called Day of Judgment. Just hard to find. 45,000 volts. They did 2 different recordings of it. I found both of them. And that's another one of my absolute favorites. Just amazing guitar work on it as well. This is one of the rarest and hardest ones to find. That's Fireballs on the Mountain. Extremely hard to find this record. I know the cover's torch, but it's just super, super rare. Chrissy Zebi Timbo. He was a drummer in the Ngozi family. This is probably one of the rarest Zamrock records as well. Incredible condition on this one as well. Museo Tunya, Wings of Africa. This is another one I would urge you to listen to if you're into like Afro rock, Afrobeat stuff. This one has like a lot of funk elements to it, a little bit of jazz elements to it. It's real jammy, got good guitar solos in it. It's got some good like saxophone solos and stuff in it too. This is an amazing record. And then I got to see Witch tour. They toured in the U.S. and I got Jaggery's signature. So got that on this original Lacumbo Vibes. This is the first record that they ever did, Introduction, and this is the first pressing of it. He was shocked to see this record because there's only 300 copies of this. When they first made this record, there were no pressing plants in Zambia, so they had to go to, I believe, Mozambique or somewhere to get it pressed and then bring it back in their luggage. So this is one of the original first pressings, impossible to find. And then this is the second cover of the Witch Introduction that is autographed. So I'm going to show you a flip video of the rest of the Zamrock records that I got. Check it out. This is my Zamrock Cube, Crossbones, Wise Man, Teddy Chisi, Kingdom of Heaven, super hard to find. That's another Paul Ngozi, Ricky Banda, Century Connection. This is a different mix of that Teddy Chisi record. Another Ngozi. Best of Paul and Gozy. This one's a really rare, pretty unknown one to Aero experience. Harry Mwale, Ricky Illalonga, Cosmos Zanny, Humanism. It's really hard to find. This is Keith Malefiu. This is a really hard record to find. Even of all the Zamrock, it's one of the rarest. This one's Jeff and the Explosives, Journey to Cosma. This is In the Past by Witch. It's another alternate cover of In the Past. It's a really clean Ricky Illalonga, Zambia. This is a really palatable, great, if you're not familiar with Zamrock, that's a great one to listen to. This one is Tinkles, Muchacho. Ngozi, 99% Confusion. This is Showman. That's a super, super, super rare one. Mike Neone. From Exile. This is Indara Indara Moyo. He went by a couple different aliases. Really hard to find. This is Machine Gunners. Ricky Illalonga. I guess I need to stop saying hard to find because they're all hard to find. Viva Ngozi, another Paul Ngozi. This 5 Revolutions is amazing, and this one's a really nice copy. This is another Keith Malefiu, Through the Fire to Heaven. Unbelievable record, and that's a really clean one too. Sunburst, this is more on the funky side. A lot of people don't consider it Zamrock because all the members of the band were from all over the place. But it is a really good funky record. Cool Nights, this is a little bit more of an African sound to it. This one is too, this 5 Revolutions. That's another Paul Ngozi. This is kind of a Kalandula, Thunder and Lightning. Museo Tunya. Blackfoot, Teddy Chisi, Ricky Banda. Whew, arms get tired. 5 Revolutions. This is another Witch moving on. This is when they were kind of in their funk phase. This is another Witch. Paul Ngozi. That's an Ngozi 12-inch. Another Tinkles record. Witch. Ricky Illalonga. Another Ngozi family. Another Ngozi family. Another Ngozi family. This one's really good. Derek Moyo, really hard to find. It's a clean copy. It's an alternate cover of that Museo Tunya record. Ricky Illalonga, Keith Malefiu, Blackfoot. Really nice Keith Malefiu. This is a great record. Love and Freedom is hard to find in good shape. And then Ricky Illalonga. All right, guys, that's just an overview of some of my favorite things that I found this year. Let me know what you think in the comments section. But I just want to thank y'all so much for watching the channel over the past year. You know, we're always growing and learning and finding things and turning people on to music. You know, when people come in the shop or they comment or they email me or whatever and they just say, hey, you know, your channel's had whatever impact on me. I've learned about music. I've gotten a lot of joy from it, whatever. That keeps me going. That makes me feel like what I'm doing is worth it. So, man, I really appreciate y'all so much and all your support and everything. If you're local and you come in the shop, I appreciate you more than you ever know. But yeah, a lot of changes this year and all been really, really good. So I just want to thank y'all. Stay in touch. Hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Instagram. And if you buy records on Whatnot, we're on Whatnot too. We sell every Tuesday night. So check us out there. We'll see y'all next time.